canceled, guys. Sorry. Nah, I'm kidding. No, but for real though, I just wanted to kind of come on here and I guess you could kind of consider this my first video for Star Wars month, like unofficially. But Star Wars month will be happening in March. It is currently February 6th and it is 3:00 a.m. on the dot. So I'm going to have to be a little quiet so I don't disturb my neighbors because I can get a little loud when I just record videos normally. Anyway, I digress. What's this video about? I just kind of wanted this to be sort of like a prelude to Star Wars month because there's something that I'm going to do that might be, for lack of a better word, controversial. Not controversial because that's kind of, I'm not big enough to have any decision I make be controversial yet, you know, on the internet, but like, well, I don't know if that's true, but I don't know what I'm saying. It's 3:00 in the morning. Anyway, so the announcement is, I just want to let you guys know that for the entirety of Star Wars month, I will be disabling comments and possibly the like to dislike ratio on the videos, on all of them. Star Wars. Star Wars, Star Wars, Star Wars. Star Wars has become kind of interesting. And by interesting, I mean it's sort of become like, you know how people say never talk about politics and religion? I think people should add Star Wars to that list as well. You should never talk about religion, politics, and Star Wars because people can just not remain civil when it comes to Star Wars. So every time I go on to any video about any era of Star Wars, no matter what the video is about, whether it's a video about a theory, whether it's, and not even on YouTube, but just any post, even on like Instagram or Twitter or whatever, anything relating to Star Wars, the comment section is just filled to the brim with people yelling at each other, screaming at each other, calling people pieces of shit because they have a different opinion. People, if you don't like the prequels, you're an asshole. If you like the sequels, then you have terrible taste in movies, blah, 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 blah. I mean, people just are going nuts. And honestly, to me, it's ridiculous. I understand that Star Wars is important to a lot of people, and it's important to me as well. And I get that for a lot of people, it's more than just a movie. But at the end of the day, guys, it's just a movie. And I've been going through this interesting phase lately where I've been getting really irritated with the fact that people just can't let other people enjoy what they enjoy without being criticized for it. And what I mean by that is like people just can't enjoy something without someone else calling them a piece of shit or a loser. Constructive criticism and civil discussion back and forth, I encourage that. I would love that. But who are we kidding? This is YouTube, and the YouTube comment section is not typically civil, especially when it comes to Star Wars. So I really do wish I could keep comments open for you guys. But the truth is that if I do that, it's just going to be a barrage of negativity, of hate, of people shitting on each other's opinions because I just don't understand why people can't enjoy what they enjoy without being called out for it. You know what I mean? I don't like that mentality. It's like you can have disagreements about things like movies and anything really, but the fact that of the matter is that there's so much other crap in the world to actually be mad about that someone's taste in movies that's different from yours should not rile you up as much as it does. You know what I'm saying? And that brings me to why am I doing this? You know, besides the previous points that I mentioned, nowadays more than ever, people cannot handle opinions that are different than theirs. And I feel like now, I don't want to be that in a society type of person, but we as a people kind of need to relearn how to sit with opinions that we don't like. There are plenty of videos on YouTube that I watch, mostly about movies, but other things too, that make me completely disagree with what they're saying. Sorry, my dog just came down. I completely disagree with what they're saying in the video. And you know what I do? I don't comment. No matter how mad their opinion makes me, or how much I disagree with it rather, I just sit with it, and I don't necessarily engage because I know it's going to lead to conflict. If I was in a scenario where I knew conflict wasn't really going to happen and it would rather be, you know, something that was more constructive or civil, I would probably comment more than I do. I don't comment. I have not commented on a video that I have disliked since I was in middle school. I'm 26 now, you know, so it's been a long time. Although I kind of did it recently with this video about storyboards, but not really. kind of. I don't know. I just feel like people need to really relearn to sit with opinions and just accept the opinions of other people. Because I'm going to have some controversial opinions about Star Wars. An opinion, by definition, is not wrong, no matter what it is. And you could go into some really deep things like, oh, what about this? What about this? But those are special cases. I'm talking about movies. I'm talking about movies. When it comes to art, art is inherently subjective. By definition, art of any form is subjective. So no one is wrong in their opinion of how they perceive it. I have some very controversial opinions about the Star Wars movies, especially something like the sequel trilogy. Spoiler alert, I actually think it's not that bad. And the prequels, I'm not the biggest fan of them. I think both series have their flaws and their strengths, but that's kind of my overall general consensus of it. And I can't share that opinion online without the comments section berating me, berating my opinion, telling me that I'm wrong, and berating other people for their opinion in the comment section, and then it just becomes a full-on argument. Now, I know I'm not that big, I don't get a lot of comments, but I still just don't want it to happen. And I'm not trying to censor you. That's the last thing I want to do. If I did Star Wars Month a year ago, I wouldn't have disabled the comments at all. And I'm not trying to get too personal here, but I'm at a place right now in my life where the last thing my mental health needs is a bunch of random people online calling me a shitbag, calling me an asshole, saying I have fucking terrible taste in movies, sending me even death threats. I mean, who knows? I've seen some commenters say some crazy shit on Star Wars videos. It's crazy. It's like they just can't be civil about it. So I'm more so blocking the comments and maybe like to dislike ratio. I haven't decided it yet. Mostly for me, because I just don't feel like I can take it. Because there are a lot of people I know and a lot of YouTubers who have really thick skin. And I admire those people. And I honestly envy those people. Especially gaming YouTubers who can go online and people are calling them the worst of things and just saying horrible, horrible things. Whereas if someone says that to me, I get, I'll just be real with you. It stays with me. It kind of ruins my day. I know it's ridiculous, but it kind of does. That stuff stays with me. And more so than it hurts me, it just kind of makes me sad. Not just because of, I'm sad because they call me names, but also just like it's sad. I just get sad for like the world. And I'm not trying to be on a soapbox or put myself on a pedestal by any means, but I just get really just sad that this is the state we're in, that someone sharing a simple opinion is now an act of cultural warfare. You know what I mean? Especially when it's about art, like movies. Especially Star Wars movies, a space fantasy movie. And I'm not trying to diminish the space fantasy, I'm just saying any movie in general. And a lot of people are going to be like, get over it, it's the internet, you signed up for this. And I get that. I do. It's almost like there's an unofficial waiver anytime you post something to the internet that it has the potential to be scrutinized. And I get that. But at the same time, I don't feel like people should be subjected to it, especially if they don't want to be. And being that it is my channel, I choose to not subject myself to those types of hate comments or any type of comments, to those type of comments. And again, I'm not trying to censor you. I'm not trying to be like, I'm not trying to whatever, your freedom of speech. Like I said, this is more for me. I know it feels like I'm being contradictory because I said I can sit with people's opinions that I don't like, yet I'm disabling comments. But that's not because you guys have a different opinion. It's because it's not because commenters have a different opinion. It's because commenters are so belligerent and unnecessarily cruel while expressing their opinion. If you came up to me and said you hated Empire Strikes Back, I would disagree with you. But if you gave me legitimate criticisms that you thought that you're like whatever, I'd be like, okay, that's fine. But if you say you're a piece of shit and I hope you die, you should jump off a bridge and go kill yourself, that's too far. Yes, that's free speech. Hate speech, I don't know. I'm pretty apolitical. I don't really whatever. I'm not really part of that whole debate where this is not a political discussion. But I'm not going to subject myself to that. I don't want to be told to go throw myself off a bridge because I like a movie. And I feel like that's a very respectable opinion. And honestly, I feel like we should try and create a world that's more accepting and loving toward one another in spite of our differences. I would rather have a world where we can respect each other for our differences and live at peace like that rather than all be the same and be like, you have to agree with me in order to have this peace that you talk about. I don't know. I don't know why movies have become such a touchy topic to talk about. And look, I've fallen victim to this. I have fallen victim to this. I have gotten upset at my friends or other people for having different opinions about it, about movies. But I'm pretty sure if you talk to my friends, especially someone like Tea Kettle, where we've had discussions about it, I don't know if I've ever gotten mad, but maybe I have, because we had a podcast, and it was more, I think it was more civil than actual arguments about movies, because we would both just move on and be like, okay, you didn't like it, who cares? And that's the way it should be. But I've fallen victim to it, so I get it. I get it. But lately, I've just been seeing so much of it that I've kind of had this, not epiphany, but just this realization that who cares? Just let people like what they like without criticizing them for it. People criticize people's taste in movies so much. I think more so than almost any other art form. More so than photography. If someone went up to you and said, if someone went up to someone and said Annie Leibovitz is better than Ansel Adams, maybe in the photography community, I'm not really in that community, so maybe they would get really upset about it, but most people wouldn't really get upset, I don't think. Music, if you don't like music, if it's not your taste, there are so many people who tell me they don't like country or rap or whatever, I'm like, that's fine. And then the only art form really that gets this much hate is movies. Video games too also get the same amount of hate, but movies and video games for some reason just have this toxicity surrounding them. And it's not all like that, I know that. Let's break it down. If you're talking to someone at a restaurant, you meet them, you're at a restaurant. Or let's say you're on a first date at a restaurant and you guys order burgers. And then your date says, I'll have a cheeseburger with no tomato. How stupid would it be if you said, You don't like tomato? Oh my god, dude. Your taste buds are inferior. Okay? I cannot believe you don't like tomato. You freaking piece of shit. You don't like tomato? Fuck you. Fuck you. And fuck your opinion, bitch. Can you imagine that? How dumb that would be? I hate salt and vinegar chips. I actually don't really like anything with vinegary taste to it. But that's my taste. That's my taste buds. And no one criticizes me for it when I take my pickles off my burger because that's not my taste. I don't like it. So how come that same mentality cannot be applied to movies? Because people don't shit on each other and criticize each other when they have different taste in food. But when it comes to art, like movies, it's the death knell. It's you need to believe me and my opinion and no one else is right. Because that's another thing I wanted to talk about. The mentality today is that most people present their opinion as fact. I really, really, really don't like that. And I understand that sometimes when you're in a discussion, when you're just explaining your opinion, it comes across like you're saying that because you can't say, in my opinion, after every single sentence you say. But it goes beyond that to where people are just saying their opinion like it's a fact. I saw someone talk about Avengers Endgame, and they're like, what'd you think of Avengers Endgame? And they typed, someone said, I thought it was a masterpiece of modern filmmaking. And then the person who posed the question originally said, no, you're wrong. It's a creatively bankrupt film, and it's garbage. No, you're wrong. Here's the crazy part. They're both right because opinions, by definition, are not wrong, especially when it comes to art. Again, this is all art. If you have an opinion about something crazy, if you have an opinion that, suicide bombing is okay, obviously that's not right. But that, don't, people like to always pick that stuff. I'm talking about movies, art, stuff like that. That's subjective. He's not wrong for liking it, and he's not wrong for hating it. I really am starting to get upset with people who post videos on YouTube with clickbaity titles that say stuff like, The Last Jedi is garbage, and here's why. Almost like what they're saying is fact. That it's a universal fact that The Last Jedi is garbage, here is why. And there are so many videos of that on YouTube. People just can't have their own opinion and let other people enjoy what they enjoy without feeling attacked, without attacking others. And to me, it's just so strange that someone can get so upset just because someone likes a different movie or doesn't like a movie. There are going to be moments during my videos in Star Wars Month where I come across very unintentionally hypocritical, because I'm almost going to be talking, like I said, about my opinions like they're fact, because I can't say in my opinion before or after every single statement I make about the movie. But that being said, I just want to let you know that it's all going to be opinion based. I love Marvel movies. There are a lot of people who hate Marvel movies. If people would just voice their opinion and say, like, you know what, Marvel movies, I gave them a try, but they're just not for me. I can see why people like them, but, I'm more into, like, slow burn drama. I'm more into, like, melodrama, stuff like The Godfather or Love Story, blah, 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 blah. It's like, that's fine. That's fine. I'd be like, cool, good for you, man. Good for you. But instead, most of that is instead substituted with the Marvel Cinematic Universe is destroying the film industry. It's destroying film as an art form. Big budget movies are the death kill for our culture. This is cultural genocide, blah, 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 blah. And it's like, do you guys not understand how pretentious you sound when you talk like that? And I'm not trying to yell at anyone watching this video. I'm just saying, like, can we please just be civil? I just wish people could have civil disagreements. If people would just say it in a respectful manner, I'd be okay with that. And comments for my Star Wars month would not be disabled, But people, unfortunately, can't handle different opinions. And I understand. It's hard sometimes. Like I said, I've fallen victim to it, where I would get angry if someone didn't agree with me. But I've never resorted to sending death threats to someone or calling someone a piece of shit. I've had debate on films, on apps like Stardust or YouTube. But it's never gotten to the point where I'm just screaming at someone because they have a different opinion. With Star Wars, the fandom is the most toxic out of any fandom. And that's just kind of the truth. Or is it my opinion? Either way, you'd have to respect it because you can't comment. Nah, but I guess there are other ways you could still, like, comment. Like, you can go on one of my other videos and be like, oh, I just saw your video, blah, 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 it's garbage. But, if you do that, then that's just, wow, okay. But, yeah, my friend Trevor once said something that really kind of hit me. He said, and I'm paraphrasing what he said here, but he said that it always annoys him that people always say never talk about politics or religion. Because these are important topics to talk about, and we should talk about them, and we should be able to talk about them. The problem and the reason people don't talk about them, and they have that rule, is because people can't remain civil while talking about it. So it's not the topic that's the taboo part, or the part that's bad. It's the people who can't be civil while discussing it. That's why we can't talk about these things. It's not because of the topic. It's because of the people, But I just want to let you know that every Star Wars month video in March is going to not have comments enabled. And the like to dislike ratio also might be disabled as well. Again, most of it is just for my mental health, because that's the last thing I feel like I need right now is a bunch of people on the internet shitting on me because I don't like the Star Wars prequels. I just really don't want to deal with that, with people attacking me. And I think that's okay, I think that's an okay thing to say. Anyway, that's pretty much all I got for you guys. So stay tuned for Star Wars month. It's coming in March. Hopefully you guys can still enjoy the videos, even though comments are disabled. Hopefully you guys will, and hopefully you guys can, sit with opinions that you're uncomfortable with, because that's a very healthy thing to do. Because if you can't lash out, you just kind of have to deal with it. And that's life, Life is full of opinions you don't like. We have to learn how to respect other people's opinions, especially when it comes to art, like movies and music and video games and stuff like that. So anyway, that's pretty much it, guys. Sorry that this video was super long, but like I said, Star Wars month is going to be long-form video discussions, very similar to this. So stay tuned in March when I make some videos for you guys, and hopefully it will be fun. I don't know. We'll see. All right, guys. Catch you later. Bye.